Afternoon. I hope everybody is well today. Thought I'd do a quick show today. I am going to do a match preview tomorrow with Quasi on the Manchester United game. But I just wanted to catch up with everyone because I haven't spoke to anyone for a couple of days. So I hope you're all well. If you want to just say hello in the chat, that'd be great, and I'll obviously give you shout outs. If anyone wants to ask me any questions about what's on your mind about Liverpool, pop it in a super chat and I'll answer that ASAP. I wanted to cover just a couple of things that's come up in the media. There's been a lot of stuff around like transfers. There's been a lot of stuff around people we could have signed, which I think is pretty much irrelevant. But the interesting thing about that is this always happens just before we announce new contracts. This is just a common thing with Liverpool. There was loads of stuff about players we could have signed and what we could have done before Salah signed a new contract, if you remember. I just think it's interesting that we're in talks with all three players. Two of them have pretty much confirmed that they want to stay. And if you really want to break it down, and you can sit here and say, oh well, we should have got Mo done, we should have got Virgil van Dijk done sooner, then it's a bit of a masterstroke if I'm honest, because they're two of the greatest players in the world and have been for a number of years, and they're begging to stay. Like they've gone on record like begging for new contracts. Like, it's a bit of a masterstroke that we've, instead of having to beg the players to stay, they're now begging to stay, like, which is just a brilliant move by Liverpool. If you really want to look at it holistically, then I think it just is. Like, the fact that we haven't done anything has made them want to stay even more. Like, and they want to stay on board with the project. Um, it's a bit like, I don't know. It's like giving the toys to a child, showing the child the toys, and then putting them in a cupboard, and then the kids at the cupboard going, "I want my toys, I want my toys," like, and you're like, "No, no, you're not getting them yet. Um, you got to play well first." And Virgil and Salah have done that, and maybe we'll let them have the toys out the cupboard. Um, anyway, I'm going to give a couple of shout outs. So, big up Mikey. Afternoon YNWA. Afternoon Red Alerts. I've not seen you on here before, so if you haven't subscribed, please do, and let me know if you did. Afternoon Red Armchair. Bigger boy or booger boy. Afternoon Lee. Afternoon Liverpool Truth Channel. I've not seen you on here before either, so if you subscribe, please let me know if you have. What did Mbappe say? Okay. So the Mbappe one's really interesting because I spoke about this on Jamie's show yesterday, and there's obviously new things which have come out since that. So the Mbappe piece was we'd agreed a contract with him, and the contract had a really weird clause, and the weird clause was that eventually, when it came to his choice, he could leave Liverpool to sign for Real Madrid. That was in the contract, apparently. It was a 5-year contract with Liverpool. I don't know how much the money was, but I believe the total fee of the contract with the wages was 85 million over 5 years. So work that out how you want. I don't know, but that's what was agreed with Mbappe and his mum. The interesting thing is, we offered 168.5 million for him, and we were told by the director of football of PSG that you'd need to double it to get him out. And the reason why I think that was the case is because he had an outstanding fee which hadn't been paid to him, and it still hasn't been paid to him, by the way. And I think it stands at like 56 million, I think, which hasn't been paid to him yet. So he's still fighting for that fee, for that money, which I think they wanted us to cover that cost before they sold him. Remember, this is in 2022. This is before Salah signed his new contract, by the way. So we're at a stage where Mo had 1 year left. We had lost Mane, and Bobby was leaving as well at the end of that season. So we needed a striker. Like, we needed a refresh in the attacking department. So we went in. So we'd signed Diaz. Diaz was already in the door, but we hadn't signed Nunes and we hadn't signed Hakpo. So obviously, when the Mbappe deal fell through, we then went for, well, Jurgen did, not the scouting department. The scouting department wanted nothing to do with Nunes and Hakpo, by the way. That's just a fact. Like, if you want to know more about that, then read Ian Daniels' book, because he makes it very clear that the scouting department want nothing to do with Nunes. They wanted Christian and Nkunku. All the signs pointed at Nkunku, but we went for Jurgen wanted Darwin Nunes, which in total is 85 million. Like, I know it's 64 million, but we've already paid 10 million back. So it sits at 75 million right now. There's one more clause in his contract, which is if he wins the Champions League or the Premier League with Liverpool, then we pay Benfica 10 million. Like, if you don't believe me, you can play Football Manager 2024 and the clause kicks in if you win the Champions League or the Premier League. So that's a clause that's in there. I don't know how Football Manager know these clauses, but they just do. Like, they know all the clauses. They know how much the release clauses are. They know how much players get if we win league titles. If we win a league, Gravenberch, Gravenberch's old club, Bayern Munich, gets 300,000. Like, Hakpo, 800,000 to Ajax. To PSV. If we win the league, these fees get paid out. Like, it's just a fact. Like, Zubamendi's a 51 million pound release clause in his contract. Like, someone's just wrote it in there. Like, these are all on Football Manager. Just go and look for it. Like, you can go and look online. Like, it tells you. Like, it's weird, but they know. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the FSG thing. I'm just not going to get into it. Big up Kingsman. Afternoon, Jen. Anyone else has joined? Nope, no one else. If you are new, put your name in the chat and let me know, and I'll give you a shout out. So obviously the Harvey Elliott thing as well. I talked about this yesterday on Jamie's show. Look, I'm not all about getting rid of players and doom and gloom and all that stuff. Okay, but I spoke about this on Jamie's show. Harvey Elliott offers something completely different than Dominic Szoboszlai does to Liverpool. He doesn't run beyond the defenders. He's got no pace. He's not skillful, as in he can't dribble past players. He hasn't got the defensive capabilities to be able to track back and tackle players. He hasn't got the strength in midfield to do what Gravenberch, McAllister, and Dominic Szoboszlai can do, and Curtis Jones and Endo, which is the strength to hold off players and to be strong in midfield and to be able to hold the line hold the ball, control. He hasn't got that capability. He's got a great pass. He's got great vision. He's got great intelligence. He's got a great touch. He's got a good shot on him. He's got a good cross. He offers a lot of things. However, he doesn't offer the things which can make our number 10 a real threat in a slot team. And that's just the fact, which is the reason why he's probably bought Chiesa to maybe play in that position or to be a backup for Salah because he knows that Elliott can't play in the Salah role. So he's moved him into midfield more. And I get that he had a good pre-season and I get he looked good, but that isn't how Liverpool want to play. Like that's just a pre-season game. You can see that Liverpool don't play the way that we played in a lot of those games. We play different football, like in each game. He offers certain things, and I get that. But the problem I've got is now that he's now out for 2 months, he's now not going to be available until November, the end of October, November. I don't think he was going to play any games anyway in the big games. I think he was going to maybe start against Nottingham Forest, maybe play West Ham, maybe Bologna, maybe a substitute appearance here and there. He's only played 13 minutes this season, and he wasn't great when he came on. He really wasn't. So my question is, how many games would he play in November when he comes back? Because if you look at the fixture list, we've got Real Madrid, we've got Arsenal, we've got Man City, we've got Tottenham, we've got Aston Villa, we've got Brighton's, we've got some big games. We've got a horrible October, November. We really have. And can you throw a guy who's had no game time whatsoever all season, apart from pre-season, and then he's just come back from a broken foot into a pressure cooker of 3 games a week, non-stop all the way through till Christmas, with the likes of AC Milan in there as well, and Bayer Leverkusen, and lots of games all the way through up until December, the end of December, and then we move into the next year where there's no stop, there's no winter break. The Champions League, the Champions League doesn't stop. I don't think you can, and I know it's not great to hear, but I think he may look at a loan, like in January. If he can't get into the team because somebody else is there, like you don't know if Curtis Jones comes in now and hits the ground running and has done a lot of training in the background. Maybe he starts. Maybe he starts a game now. Maybe Tyler Morton starts a game. Maybe Endo comes in. Like maybe Trey Ione gets a chance and he looks like the guy in pre-season and the guy who's just been on international duty and scored 2 goals. Like we just don't know. Like Tyler Morton looked absolutely brilliant for the under-21s. Like just watch the game. Like watch the highlights. He's smashing into tackles, winning the ball, passing the ball, looking an absolutely brilliant player. Who Tyler Morton is, by the way. Like I massively rate Tyler Morton. Never had a bad game for us. Never seen him have a bad game anyway, full stop. Like, it's a bit of a shame that he hasn't been given a chance, but I think he's better than Endo. Like, I think he's better than Endo. I do. I think he's more suited to the way Slot plays than Endo. Anyway, Elliott is a 21-year-old guy. He's played over 100 games for Liverpool. He was Klopp's favourite. If Klopp was still here, he'd be playing, like whether he'd be good or not. Like he just would. Jurgen had this weird obsession with him where he played him in midfield, and we were terrible with him in midfield. We just were. We were terrible. But he wants to play him. It's his little project. I just don't see Slot doing it. I just don't see Slot doing things because he just thinks it's a good idea. Like, you know what, it's my little project. I don't care if the team suffers. I just think Slot does things because it's the better for the team. It's what's going to get us a result. It's what's going to make the needle move. It's how we're going to stay in games. It's how we're going to be defensively stronger. It's how we're going to be offensively better. The substitutions he makes, the players he drops, everything he does is all about the team. It's not it's not about ego. It's not about him making this guy a worldie because it's his project. He's not listening to anybody else. He's not listening to outside noise. He's not picking players because they used to be good in the past. You know, it's not about that. It's about what he sees in front of him. It's about what he sees in training. It's about whether it works. He's not just shoving a load of players into a team because they're all the best players, and some of them don't even play well in those positions, but they need to be on the pitch. It's not going to happen like that. So with Elliott, it's really unfortunate because I think he could have came in and done a job and maybe shown us what he's capable of and maybe shown Slot what he's capable of. But I just don't think that chance is going to happen now. And maybe in November he gets some game time. But if he doesn't, don't be surprised if he sends him out on loan. Don't be surprised if he sends him out on loan. Because if he does go back and get Zubimendi, which all of it looks like it's going to be a Virgil van Dijk type player, where not quite ready, has all the ducks haven't lined up. We just couldn't get that one over the line because maybe they didn't get a player in, and it looks like maybe that's the case. They needed to get a player in first before he goes. They need a replacement to fit in his position. And maybe they've sat down and said to him, just give us 6 months. Let us get someone in, and then you can have a look at the project. And then if you want to go, then you can go in January and we'll go back because the lines are still open. This hasn't ended. This isn't a categorical no. It's a no, but the door's open. Not right now. It's a no, but not right now. And if he's as good as he is, which he looks like the player that will really shine for us, then we go back in and get him in January. We haven't signed anyone else. Doesn't look like we went in for anybody else. Doesn't look like we were looking at anybody else. I think that's the one. I get the Varela thing. I totally get that. But they wanted insane money. And I don't think we were interested in paying the insane money. And also Slot might not wanted him. Maybe there's something that doesn't quite fit. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on the Elliott thing. But I wish him all the best, and I hope he comes back stronger. And I hope I'm totally wrong. However, that's kind of how I see things. Couple more updates. Okay, what have I got here? Okay, so the game we've got coming up is Forest at home. We've got a good record against Forest at home. I'm going to do a review of that game, a preview of that game, which I'll cover tomorrow with Quasibold in the afternoon. I did talk a little bit about Rodrigo and Tchouameni that we actually inquired about in the window. Now the thing I wanted to talk about is I see a lot of people who are saying that we haven't been ambitious or FSG haven't been ambitious. Look, I understand that maybe we didn't sign the players that you wanted. Maybe we didn't get the Mbappes that you wanted or whoever that you wanted. Like, you know, the I don't know. I don't. I'm not even gonna say names now because it's just pointless. But if you look at the bigger picture, we have gone for big players. We just have. Okay, like whether you believe it or not, but we've gone for big players. You know, we waited a year for Jude Bellingham. We waited for Tchouaméni. You know, it looks like we had a contract agreed with Mbappe, and we offered 168 million. That looks like that was something that probably happened. You know, we we offered 115 million for Caicedo, who was a massive player the players the teams wanted that would have made sense for us. We did that. You know, we looked at Danny Olmo, you know, but he wanted to go to Barcelona. Like we tried for Zubamendi, you know. we we've looked at a lot of players and we've offered money for players just because we didn't get the guy that you wanted doesn't mean that we haven't tried. And there's plenty that we probably looked at or tried that you don't even know about because Liverpool don't make their transfer business common knowledge. Like they just don't. Like, did anybody see Diaz coming? That was a £50 million player. Did anybody see Darwin Núñez coming? That was an £85 million player. Did anyone see Virgil van Dijk coming in the first place? Like the guy was touted by Manchester City. Like that's a £75 million player. Like did anyone think that we'd get Caicedo? Did anyone think that we'd bid for Caicedo? Like that we'd actually put a bid in for him? But we did. Like, you know, Chiesa just came out of nowhere. Like these things happen. Like Liverpool do things that you don't know about. Liverpool talk to players that you don't know about. Liverpool make bids that you don't know about. We offered 86 million for Tchouaméni. Like he's one of the most expensive signings for Real Madrid. And we made him expensive for them because we went in for him, but we didn't get him. Like you can't blame the club for not signing players if they don't want to come to the club. But we're at the table for the top guys. We're there. We've always been there for years and years. We've been at the top of the table. Like if we don't sign players that you see go for ridiculous amounts of money, then there's a reason why. It's because we don't think they're worth it. And if the club don't think they're worth it, and this is the scouts, and this is the analyst, and this is the manager or the coach, then that's it. We've got nothing else to say. Like, that's their choice. You can't make the choice for them. I can't make the choice for them. Like, it now looks like, and whether you like it or not, and I didn't rate him last year, but it now looks like we've got the other Jude Bellingham player because we had Jude Bellingham, we had Tchouaméni, and we had Gravenberch on our list as the players that were going to be world-class stars in the future. And we were looking at all three of these guys 3 years ago. All three of them 3 years ago. We were looking at Jude, we were looking at Tchouaméni, and we were looking at Gravenberch. We didn't get Tchouaméni, we didn't get Jude, we got Gravenberch. Whether you like it or not, I think we've got a really good player on our hands. Like, I think this guy could be very special. Like, he offers so many things that work in a slot team. They just do. Like, sorry, he just does. Like, Gravenberch was rated back when he was 19, or even when he was 18 at Ajax. He was rated as one of the biggest stars of the future. Like, he just was. He's got absolutely everything. Everything he gives us. Like, it's all about application. It's all about getting the best out of this guy and making this guy believe that he can be what he wants to be. Putting him in the situation and on the path to greatness. And it's a masterstroke by Liverpool to get Johnny Heisinger, who he knows really well, and some of the coaching staff from the Dutch team that Gravenberch knows really well. Gravenberch has been playing for Holland, whether it's the international team, whether it's the under-21s, whether it's the under-17s, for a very long time. And we've now got these pieces in place where Gravenberch is happy. Gravenberch looks like a player that's having the time of his life. And I'm just going to say this now. We have a 23-year-old player who plays alongside another 23-year-old player who could potentially be two of the best midfielders in the world for the next 5-6 years in Gravenberch and Dominic Szoboszlai. Whether you like it or not, like whether you think Dom's good or not, whether you think Grav's good or not, you can't sit here now and not tell me that these two guys could be two of the best midfielders in the world for the next 5 years. And they're both in our team. And they're both in our team. And they cost less than 100 million for both of them. It's serious, because this is what we're looking at. Like, I haven't even mentioned McAllister. Like, McAllister is a world-class star in his own right now. Like, when McAllister doesn't play for Argentina right now, Argentina don't look good. Like, that's just a fact. Like, McAllister didn't play for Argentina in the Colombia game and they got beat. Like, they had to bring him on for 12 minutes to like try and resurrect their performance. And the game before, he scored the goal which put them 1-0 up. Like, we have three unbelievable midfielders in McAllister, Gravenberch, and Dominic Szoboszlai. And we should be so happy. Like, we should be so happy that we have these guys. And we're going for one more. And we tried to get Zubamendi. Let's just talk about that four in midfield. You've got Zubamendi, who everybody wants, who's a Euro winner, Spanish international, destined for great things, 25 years old, same age as McAllister, like done it all, won it all, like internationally, yeah. Star of his team, absolute star of his team, like literally the heartbeat of Real Sociedad. He is the heartbeat of Real Sociedad. Like, got them into the Champions League, and they didn't do too badly, to be fair, with him. And then you got McAllister, and then you got Dominic Szoboszlai, and then you've got Gravenberch, and then you've got Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott. And Curtis Jones is on the verge of the England team, who got called up before the Euros, and Harvey Elliott, who Lee Carsley has single-handedly pointed out that he's looking at Harvey Elliott for the England setup now, like while he's in charge. So it's such a shame that he's got injured. But that's a potential 7 unbelievable players in that midfield setup. And that's what Liverpool have constructed. Like that's what Jurgen Klopp got in last year, like 3 of them. Three absolute monsters. And you've got Endo as well, who's a Japanese international, who's solid player, back up, brilliant. And that's just our midfield. And we all sit here and say, "Oh God, we need this and we need that." We'll go back in and get Zubamendi. I've no doubt. I've no doubt about that. But I just think it's brilliant. I just think it's a great setup to have for a new coach who can get the best out of players by the looks of it, who can coach players to perform better in themselves. You know, Jurgen Klopp was amazing at coaching players in his setups. He really was. But he signed great players. He signed a lot of great players. We can't sit here and say they were all crap. They weren't. They were all great players, and they were all signed through a great system, which Edwards was in charge of. Some of the others, like your Gakpos and your Diaz's and your Nunez's, they've been very wishy-washy. They really have. Dominic Szoboszlai has been quite wishy-washy, to be fair, like he was last year. McAllister was pretty solid. Gravenberch was all over the place. So it's down to the new guy and the new setup to see what they get the best out of these players now. But the future's bright and it looks very good. And they look like a really good team. Anyway, that's an interesting comment actually. Van der Vaart says Gravenberch will be better than Jude and Szoboszlai. He looks sensational. This is the biggest gaslighting I've ever heard. How is it gaslighting? How is it gaslighting? How can we not be excited about the setup that we've got? How can we not be excited about Grav, Dom, and Mac? They're all under the age of 26. They're not even in their prime. They're years away from being in their prime, and they're already performing at such a high level. Like, like whether we like Gravenberch or not, whether he thought he had a good season or not last season, he scored 4 goals. He scored 5 goals last season. Dominic Szoboszlai scored 7 goals from midfield. Whether we think of anything about them or not, they scored 4 goals and 7 goals, and McAllister scored 7 goals. That's a huge contribution from midfield. It just is. Yeah, even Fabrizio said he wouldn't be surprised if he went back. There's a lot of reporters that have said that. David Lynch said the what's the name, the Zubamendi deal's not dead. We'll go back in for him. Yeah, I mean, it does look like Klopp got him in. It does look like he was, he had a list of 3. We all know about this list. It had Jude, Tchouaméni, and it had Gravenberch in, and they were all destined to be sensational ballers. But this list wasn't created by Jurgen. This list was created by our department. This list was created by our scouts. It was. Ian Daniels talks about it in his book. These were destined to be 3 of the best midfielders in the world in the future, and we didn't get 2 of them. And we tried. We tried to get the other 2, and to a certain extent, it actually ruined 2 of our seasons, because we did try too hard to get these other 2, and we didn't actually get anybody, or we got a stopgap, or we got Arthur, and Jurgen said, I don't need any midfielders, when he clearly did need midfielders, because he had Naby Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain that were just always injured. So you couldn't even class them as players. So for me, you got Henderson and Fabinho that were falling off cliffs. But look, we've got one of them in. He cost us a lot of money, by the way. Gravenberch cost us a lot of money. 34 million for a guy that hadn't played a huge amount of football. He's played more for us now than he had for Bayern in 2 years, which shows a lot. But it's interesting, and I'm excited to see them, to see them play more. I'm not gaslighting you. Like, think what you want, but what you've seen this season has been sensational. What you've seen pre-season has been sensational. Like, it just has. Like, we've conceded no big chances in pretty much most games. Like, let's just roll with it. Like, and players are taking the form into the internationals. He certainly did. He certainly did. What else have we got for you? The Mbappe stuff talked about. Um, so it looks like we've got another player that is on our list, and his name is Chris Rigg, who plays for Sunderland. I think the interesting thing about Chris Rigg, and maybe I'm reading between the lines, but maybe this is something that will come out, but I'm talking about it now because I think maybe this is something which has got something to do with the Hertha deal, which didn't happen at Sunderland. But we've been heavily linked with Chris Rigg, who's a mainstay. He's 17 years old. He's a midfielder that can play either attacking midfield. He can play 10, 8, and 6, and he's playing really well for Sunderland. And he's in their first team. And he started playing for them when he was 16 last year. We're heavily linked with him. We had a Mexican international, Hertha, from Panasha. I think it's Panasha or Panecha, the Mexican team, who had his bags packed, ready to come over to Liverpool to sign for us then to loan to Sunderland for a year. Reading between the lines, if we have been looking at Chris Rigg, maybe that loan had something in it which said that we had first dibs on Chris Rigg. And maybe that's why they pulled the plug, because they didn't want that clause in there, or there was something in there that said we were going to get Chris Rigg for like 20 million or something. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something in that contract, that loan agreement, which meant that we had availability on Rigg next year or something like that. And that would make a lot of sense, that we would do something like that. Yeah, you can have one of our guys. Like, he's going to be amazing for you. He's a Mexican international, and he's happy to play for you for a year. However, we want that guy next year, like, and we want him for like 20 million or 25 million or whatever. But he's another Jude Bellingham off the conveyor belt, and we're going for these type of players because we know that our academy can't produce these gems all the time. Like, I know we got the Bradleys, and I know we've got your Quansas, and I know there's more players like Jaden Dans, like Stefan Patet. Well, we bought Stefan Patetis from somebody else, but there are players that are coming through which are great. However, we're also going to other places. We went and got Trey Ione from Birmingham, you know, or it might have been Leicester actually. I think it was Leicester. And we went and got Amo Nallo from West Ham. And then we went and got Alvin Alman from Wolves. And then we've gone and got Rio from Chelsea. Like, we're going to other academies and getting their best players. So Chris Rigg makes a lot of sense that we go and snap him up from Sunderland. Like, maybe pay 10 million, 15 million. I don't know. But I think it's interesting that we're doing things like this. I can see Rigg being on Dortmund's radar. I really can. I can see him going straight into their midfield and really coming alight in the Bundesliga. If you haven't seen him, go and check him out. He's absolutely sensational. Like, he really is. He reminds me of a young Jordan Henderson. And you know how good he was when he was young playing for Sunderland. He was a very, very good player. Yeah, that's funny, that. Mel Gibson. Lethal Weapon, Riggs. Um, when he smashes in his dislocated arm. What's Fabrizio said? He's the biggest grift. Yeah. I mean, he's got contacts. Like, you can't say he hasn't got contacts. Like, he really has got contacts. Anybody else I can talk about? How many games has he played at the Stadium of Light? I don't know. It's behind a paywall, so I can't see it. Okay, so that's the Mbappe stuff. I'm not going to read that again. Interesting comment from Musiala, by the way. So Musiala was asked, like, read into this what you want. Like, I genuinely don't know, but he was asked about. So Bayern Munich were asked about Musiala. Where is it? Yes. So Bayern Munich were asked about Musiala. Many say that he will one day be the best player in the world, and in regard, we will do everything we can to secure him at FC Bayern. In my opinion, he could easily become the next Thomas Muller. We're very optimistic. He's got 2 years left on his contract, by the way. He was plucked from Chelsea's academy. Bayern gave him a pathway and also moved Joshua Zirkzee out the way, so Musiala had a pathway. This is confirmed by Bayern. Musiala was asked about Zirkzee, and he responded lightheartedly by saying, "You always joke around with friends and dream about playing with them again in the same team one day." He later confirmed, "I'm very happy at Bayern and focused on goals. Playing abroad like Bellingham, I'm not thinking about where I will be in 5 years. Things can change very quickly with world football." So there's a lot of stuff that came out about the fact that he said he wanted to go to Man United. He didn't say he wanted to go to Man United. He just said that it'd be interesting if he got to play with Zirkzee again. That's all. Like, that's not saying he wants to go to Man United and play with him. And as far as I'm concerned, it looks like Bayern Munich got rid of Zirkzee when he was younger to give Musiala a pathway. So they sold Zirkzee to Bologna. Um, so Musiala could play. Like, so they rated him more. Anyway, he's only got 2 years left on his contract, so we'll see what happens there. I also wanted to talk about if you didn't know, we turned down a bid from Nottingham Forest for Caoimhin Keller, and everybody thinks that the bid was like 20 million. It wasn't. It was 7 million plus Matt Turner. Like, that is just bonkers. Like, 7 million quid for quite possibly the best goalkeeper in the bottom 16 teams for me. He's the best goalkeeper in the bottom 16 teams in the Premier League for me. Maybe even the bottom 12. Yeah. Because no, probably bottom 16. Like, I think he's probably the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. Like, anyone above the bottom 16 has got a better goalkeeper, if you ask me. But like, 7 million and Matt Turner. Why would we want Matt Turner? He's garbage. Like, he's absolute garbage. Like, why would we want him? Like, just ridiculous offer that they gave us. Like, no wonder we turned it down. But he wants to leave, and that's fair enough. Like, I think he should. A couple of shout outs. Big up Trigger. Big up Gary. Big up Gary. Big up Malcolm. Big up Stop the Cap. Big up Stella. Big up Pay the Toll. Afternoon Liverpool 67. Afternoon, Andrew. Any more for any more? Yeah, if you've got any comments that you want me to read out, just pop me over a super chat and I'll read them out because there's just so much in here and I'm like, yeah, just make it clear, like, and it gets put in a starred column and then I'll read it out for you. So yeah, so we talked. So we obviously approached Real Madrid about whether Tchouaméni or Rodrigo would be available. So the interesting thing was Rodrigo then committed to Real Madrid because he was asked about a lot of things. Liverpool apparently offered 103 million. That's the rumours, that he offered 103 million for Rodrigo, and Real Madrid said he wanted 136. I think Rodrigo's gettable. I just think you got to pay the price, and he's going to cost a huge amount of money. Rodrigo's not happy at the moment, and he's not happy because he wasn't included in the Ballon d'Or list, which I find insane. Like Odegaard, Rice, and Saka were included in the Ballon d'Or list, and Rodrigo wasn't. Like Rodrigo won everything with Real Madrid, like last season. Like he was probably one of their best players, and Arsenal didn't win anything. Like they won nothing. Like they weren't even in a cup final. Like how do the Arsenal players get included in the Ballon d'Or list? They didn't win anything. Like Odegaard didn't even go to the Euros. Like how is Odegaard on that list when he's won nothing? Like they bottled the league and they didn't even get into the Euros. Like how is that even possible? Like I find that absolutely insane. I find that insane that McAllister didn't get in there. Like McAllister's won the Copa America. Like McAllister's won the World Cup. McAllister won a cup last season. Like he got to a cup final. We finished third. Like, and he won the Copa America. Like, how is he not on the Ballon d'Or list? Like, that's more than what Odegaard did. That's more than what Declan Rice did. Like, the bias is unbelievable to Arsenal. Like, the bias is unbelievable to Arsenal right now, and I find it really shameful. Like, I find it really shameful that they're getting all of this bloody Arsenal are amazing. Arteta's this. Arteta's won 2 cups. One of them is a Mickey Mouse charity cup in 5 years in charge, and he spent over 700 million. Like, please make that make some sense. Because as far as I'm concerned, he's a failure. And he's getting a new contract, by the way. He's signing a new contract. Like, they offer him a new contract. Like, the cup he won was the FA Cup with Unai Emery's team. Like, he didn't win it with his team. He won it with a previous manager's team. Like, everything was in place. He came in and won a cup with his team. Like, Unai Emery won cups and got sacked. He's absolutely garbage. Like, honestly, wait till they start getting injuries. Wait till they start getting injuries and watch Arsenal fall. Watch them fall. They've already dropped 2 points against Brighton, who've got a brand new manager and a brand new team. Like two of Brighton's signings got injured in the first games that they were played. Like 2 of their big signings, like they're out now. Like they're injured. Like like honestly, the bias to Arsenal from commentators and Sky and all of these, bloody Talk Sport and even the Ballon d'Or, like how on earth have 3 of their players got in the Ballon d'Or list? Like they didn't win a thing. Like we finished 3 points behind them and we won a trophy. And Salah doesn't get in there, and McAllister doesn't get in there. Like Virgil van Dijk is in there, but like Jesus Christ, it's absolutely pathetic. The bias for Arsenal is a joke. It's an absolute joke. Like Odegaard didn't win a thing last year, and he didn't do anything in international, and he made it onto the list. How? How did Odegaard make it onto the list? Like, I don't even think he scored as many goals as Dominic Szoboszlai or got as many assists as Salah, and he makes it on the list. What an absolute crock of shit. Seriously. Like, I've got absolutely no time whatsoever for Ballon d'Or. Like, I've got no time for it anymore. Like, I won't even bother with it anymore. Like, there's just no point. Like, it is a joke. Afternoon, Philip. If anyone's got any stuff they want me to talk about, or they want me to read anything out about Arsenal, then pop a super chat over and I will definitely talk about it more. So the Queven Keller one is just hilarious. Like 7 million and Matt Turner. Jesus. Matt Turner was garbage. Yeah, so Mikel Arteta has agreed a new contract at Arsenal. So they're giving him a contract for finishing second. Great. So yeah, he's going to be there till 2027. I've got to be honest, I genuinely thought that Arteta would jump ship and he would take over from Pep. I genuinely thought that's what would happen. I thought he'd know he'd be runner up for a while and he's never going to overtake Man City. So I thought that he'd just take over from Arteta and then obviously get a £300 million war chest, which is what the owners have said. The person who takes over from Pep gets 300 million, like just to rebuild. Like even though Pep will probably leave a really good team behind, but yeah, absolutely ridiculous. That's a really good shout, by the way. Like yeah, offer them money and offer them some money and Keller for Morello. The only thing about Morello that everyone's just waxing lyrical about, they did nearly get relegated, and he was in defence. Like like you can't sit here and say that he wasn't to blame for a lot of stuff because he was a defender at the back. And if we nearly got relegated and Virgil van Dijk was at the back, you'd all be saying that Virgil van Dijk was at fault. So how is Morella not at fault for a lot of stuff? Because he was a central defender and they were shit. They were shit. They nearly got relegated last season, Nottingham Forest, and there's probably a good chance that they'll probably be around that area this season because Forest are crap. They've got a lot of good players. They've got a lot of good players, but they're crap. Like they just don't get played well. Like how have you not got a tune out of Ione, who's absolutely sensational at finishing one-on-ones, and who else have you got? You've got about 5 or 6 really good players in the Forest team. Like you just have. Like you got the attacking midfielder who used to play for Wolves, who played for England recently. I can't remember his name. If you put it in the chat, then you've got the Chelsea lad who was sensational for them. Plays left wing, right wing. You've got Alanga, who's a good player. You've got Sangaré, who everybody wanted at Liverpool in their midfield. You've got Danilo, who everybody wanted. Gibbs White, absolutely sensational. Like you got Nico Williams, who people didn't want Liverpool to sell. Like there's a lot of good players at Forest, by the way, but they're crap. They're a crap team. Like I have no idea why. I have no idea why they're a crap team, but they just are. Like, and the last 3 managers have been crap with them. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Answers on a postcard, but we've got them next at home, and we'll probably tonk him. So there's a lot of stuff around there's a lot of rumours about. So Paul Scholes has come. I like Paul Scholes, by the way. Like I think he's quite genuine. But he's come out and he said that he doesn't think Arnie Slot has a great relationship with Trent Alexander-Arnold. And I think he's probably reading into the fact that he substituted him twice. But I feel like he's managing him, like he's managing his games. Like Trent played two full 90 minutes for England, and he was man of the match in both games. Like he was absolutely sensational in both games. So we've clearly got a manager that knows how to play Trent. And he came into midfield and he played as right back, and he was just a brilliant. I think he's saving him for the season. I agree. I think he's saving him for a long season, and I also think he wants him to be available for the big games. I think that's it. Like, so read into it what you want. Maybe Scholes wants a bit more coverage. Maybe wants the needle a bit with Liverpool because he hates us right now because we look really good, and he's jealous because Manchester United are arse, and we're ran better, and they've had plenty of time to fix it, but they haven't. I also feel like he's trying to give Bradley more game time as well because he knows how good Bradley is, and he doesn't want a situation where Bradley wants to leave because he's not getting game time. So managing the minutes of both those players, I think, is a great move. And we don't want a situation where we have a player who's really, really good and never been given any game time because Trent is being flogged every single game like Jurgen did. Like if Trent was managed better in the past, we may well have not needed to put Trent in different positions because he would have been managed better and he wouldn't have had to have been like injured or rested or whatever, or there might not have been any drop off in him. And the interesting thing is we might not have had to sell Nico Williams because Nico Williams had game time, and I rated Nico Williams, thought he was a great player for us. So that's kind of my view on that. So that's the Trent thing. Obviously, Grievenkeller wants to leave. There was an interesting thing in the Echo which came up where it was, where is it? So, in 2021, an open letter to Liverpool supporters on the club's official website, Edwards said, Dave Fallows and Barry Hunter joined Liverpool the year after me, and they had been integral in building a world-class scouting department. So this was Dave Fallows and Barry Hunter, yeah? So Dave Fallows and Barry Hunter, hang on, where is that? Yeah, okay. So Dave Fallows and Barry Hunter, if you didn't know, by the way, they came from Manchester City. We got them from Manchester City back in 2012. So they were at their department working under who was it? It was Mancini and a couple of others back then. But yeah, we pulled them out of Manchester City's department, and also the new guy we've just got, Aaron Briggs. He came out of Manchester City. So we're being able to take more coaches and scouts from different departments. Dave Fallows originally started, and this is an interesting one if you didn't know. Dave Fallows and Hunter worked with Sam Allardyce at Bolton. And do you remember the players that Bolton signed under Sam Allardyce? Like we're talking like JJ Okochas and like I mean I can't even remember half of those guys, but he had some unbelievable players at Bolton. Allardyce did, and that was because he had Dave Fallows and Hunter in his department, and Manchester City took them from Bolton, and then we took them from Manchester City. Yeah, massive. Massive RIP for Ron Yates. What a guy! Started the revolution really under Shanks and Paisley. It's true. It's true. Our scouting department and system was one of the best. Gun Johnson as well. God, yeah. I mean, they signed some unbelievable players at Bolton. And they had two of our scouts there in their departments, who we've still got, by the way, in Dave Fallows. And his nickname was Fingers Fallows, by the way, which is pretty gross, but yeah. Trying to look at some of the players that he signed. It's a long piece, by the way. It's in the Echo if you want to look into it. Who did he sign? Oh, I don't. Yeah, Barry Hunter. Barry Hunter, that was it. So this is an interesting one as well, which, okay, so most famously, it is the work of Fallows and Hunter that was publicly credited by Jurgen Klopp in the early days of Mohamed Salah's time with the Reds. The Egyptian started his career on Merseyside in blistering style, and Klopp was given full praise for twisting his arm and agreeing to bring in the now legendary number 11. The scouting department was really behind me. We wanted to do it even earlier so that nobody could jump in, Klopp said in 2017. We were sure he can help us. Michael Edwards, Dave Fallows, and Barry Hunter. They were really in my ear and were on it. Come on, Mo Salah, he's the solution. So there you go, eh? So Michael Edwards was the reason why we got Mo Salah because he was in Klopp's ear saying, come on, you need to get him. And we could have got him earlier. Like they wanted to sign him earlier, but we didn't. We waited a bit longer. But there you go. And there's no one stopping anybody from getting players now. It's all down to the team. Also looks like Jonathan Tah is on our list as well. So we signed Chiesa for 12.5 million. And Mamardashvili for 30 million last year. Well, the window just gone. It looks like Jonathan Tah is on our radar as a potential free signing next year. He could be available at a low price because they might not want to let him leave on a free. He's got like 35 caps for Germany. He's played like 350 games in the Bundesliga. He's 28 years old. I mean, Virgil van Dijk's 32. Jonathan Tah's 28. Like, Joel Matip was 31. Like, makes a lot of sense that we go and get an experienced player at the back. Like, I get it, you want brilliant players, but do you want brilliant players that are young and haven't been proven at all levels? Or do you want a guy who can come in and hit the ground running? Like maybe Slot wants people that are guaranteed. Maybe the departments are looking at guys that they're just there. Like, they move the needle. Like Jonathan Tah is a brilliant backup for Virgil. Like he just comes in and just replaces Virgil, like, and Virgil can have a rest, or Canate can not be flogged all season, and maybe he doesn't think Quansah's good enough. Like, Quansah had a great season, Quansah had a great pre-season. Quansah's 21 years old. Maybe he thinks Quansah could now be fourth choice, and Jonathan Tah comes in as second choice or third choice. Like, I don't know what the new coach is thinking. I don't know what the new scouting department is looking at. But if you ask me, if we could get Jonathan Tah for like 10, 15 million in January, and he's our other centre back, are you trying to tell me you wouldn't want him? Like, if you can get him for the same price you've just got Chiesa. Jonathan Tah's on £57,000 a week, by the way, in wages. Like, so he's not going to move the needle. Like, we might give him 100 grand, and we give him a 4-year contract, and that's a good number of years for a really good player who could come in and do a great job all the time. Like, he can. Like, he's a really good player. Like, there is a reason why Bayer Leverkusen didn't want him to go to Bayern Munich. There's a reason why they didn't want him to go to Barcelona. Like, he's a great player. Like, he comes in and he's third choice, second choice. I don't care whether he's second choice. I don't care whether he's third choice. Like, it's not it's not my choice. But to have him there as a guy that can come into the team in January and hit the ground running, I think it's a brilliant move. I think it's a brilliant move. I don't think his injury stats are bad. I don't think they are. Like, they're not going to be any worse than Matip's, and everyone wanted Matip to stay for another year. So for me, I think that's a shrewd bit of business. Like, I really do. I think it's just a good bit of business. Get a 28-year-old international who's played tons of games, played cup finals, like, won everything. Like, just get him in. By the way, he scored 35 goals in his career, by the way. So he's really good from set pieces. Like, he's got a great long ball pass on him as well, like diagonal. He's really tall. He's a monster. Like, he's basically Rudiger. Like, there's not many players. There's not many centre backs that I can put in the elite level, like, in the elite level behind Virgil. Like, I'm looking at Virgil, and then I'm looking at Saliba, Gabriel. Not going to get either of them. You're not going to get John Stones. You're not going to get Guardiola. Yeah. So then you go into Barcelona. Who are Barcelona? The Uruguayan, Ronaldo, I think his name is. He's always injured. Okay, you're not going to get him. Then you're moving over to Bayern Munich. Upamecano, do you want him? No. What about Marquinhos from PSG? No, you probably don't want him. Then you start to look at other teams like, okay, Real Madrid. Rudiger? Yeah, Rudiger would be brilliant. Yeah, we're not going to get him. What about the Brazilian guy at Real Madrid who's injured? Would you get him? No, you wouldn't get him. Okay, so now you're going to Italy. Okay, Bastone. Would you get Bastone? Maybe. But would he come to us? I don't know. Then who else are you looking at? Who else are you looking at? Seriously, are there many more players that stick out? Inacio's still really young. He's not proven. So probably not. Jonathan Tah for what, 10, 15 million? Yeah. like I think he's better than De Ligt, who they just paid 50 million for. Like, so this is what I'm saying. Like, you're looking around and you're looking at a guy that Bremer's just signed a new contract with Juventus. No, you're not going to get him. So you're looking at players who are going to come in and do what? Third choice centre back. Jonathan Tah could do that. He'd be 28, 29 when we sign him. It'd be another it'd be his last big contract. I think he'd come in and do a job. Yeah, I think it's great business. I really do. Anyway, that's how I feel about it. I think it's a great bit of business that comes in and does a great job for us. He'll score important goals. He'll play big games. Is he better than Konate? I don't think he's better than Konate, but he could be because we haven't seen him play in the Premier League. I don't know. If you put him next to Virgil van Dijk, you have a huge amount of experience in that defence, and you have a couple of guys that have won everything. They've won everything. Virgil van Dijk obviously hasn't won World Cup or Euros. Like, he's not won those trophies. Jonathan Tah has. I think it's a good signing. I feel it's a really shrewd bit of business, and you're not bringing in someone who you've got to gradually bring into the team. You don't know whether they're going to be good enough. Like, do they fit the system? Maybe not. Jonathan Tah, he plays for Xabi Alonso's team. He fits the system. Perfect. I think it's a great bit of business. I really do. I hope we make it. I hope we make it. What else are we looking at? We might as well talk about the contracts. Oh, actually, another player I want to talk about is Liverpool have now been linked with Angel Gomez. If you haven't seen Angel Gomez, check him out. He is a very good player. He looks like a very good player. He's 24 years old. He plays for Lille in France. He came from Manchester United's academy. He's just been called up to England. He looks like a brilliant player. He's available on a free transfer next year, I believe. He's got 1 year left on his contract. He's available on a free transfer at the end of the season, and he's not looking to sign a new contract. Manchester United obviously want him. I think that's a great bit of business if we went and got him on a free. 24, looks like a great player, plays defensive midfield, can play the 8. I get it. I get it that you want him, but I think he's going to get more game time at Real Madrid, and I also think that they want a huge amount of money for him. Gomez is free. Like, Gomez is on a free. Like he can start talking to clubs in January. Like, we will be all over that. We will be all over that. He could be a great signing for us. Maybe Curtis Jones doesn't fit into Slot's plans. Maybe Endo doesn't stay another year. Maybe we get Gomez to replace Endo. I'm absolutely fine with that. I'm fine with that. I think that's a fair enough replacement. Let me know what you think in the chat. There's 67 of you watching. If you want to hit the like and subscribe, please do. If you want send me any super chats, please do. Every little helps because I'm now paying for the subscription of StreamYard, which is quite expensive each month. So every little helps. Is there any other news I want to cover before I do a show tomorrow? So West Ham are looking at Joel Matip on a free transfer, just to let you know. He's 33, by the way, Joel Matip, just in case you didn't know. There's nothing else that I've got to cover right now. No, there's nothing else that I've got to cover that I haven't covered now. Yeah, I hope you've all liked the show. Oh, there's 71 of you in here now, and I'm about to finish. Sorry. If you haven't liked us, hit the like and subscribe, please do. I'll give a couple of shout outs before I go. Big up Freedom, big up Spider, hope you're well. Big up Bonkers. Any more? Big up Thomas. Big up Ikram. A couple of you haven't seen on here before, so if you can hit the subscribe button, that would be wonderful. And let me know if you have subscribed, and we'll give you a shout out. He does turn like the QE2, you're not wrong. Big up Alexander. Any more that I haven't seen? Nope. If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat now, and I'll answer a few for you. Oh, big up Douglas. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that about Premier League experience. I do get that. But what would you rather have? Would you rather have a guy that's never played like, you know, in the Premier League, or hasn't got a huge amount of experience in winning trophies, in say, I mean, Inacio has won trophies, by the way. He's won 2 league titles, and he's also won 2 cups. Like, I'm not going to hold that against him. And I think he's also been in the Portuguese team when they've gone far in competitions. I would like Inacio, by the way. Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't, but Inacio is going to cost you 60 million, and is he going to go straight into the team? Like, I genuinely don't know. He might need time to get himself into the team, but would you sign Jonathan Tah and play him next week? Like, would you sign, if you sign Jonathan Tah now, could you play him against Nottingham Forest on Saturday? And the answer is yeah. Like, the answer is just yes. Like he would just go straight in. Like, he could just go straight into a team. Like Jonathan Tah, he's a very, very good player, very experienced. Worth a huge amount of money over the years, but they've managed to keep him at Leverkusen, and it's no surprise that they're fighting on all fronts because he's at the back and he's their captain. Like, he's a great player. So if we can get him on a free transfer, or we can get him for like less than 20 million, I think it's a brilliant bit of business. That's what I'm saying. Do I think Trent's waiting to chat to Madrid? Look, the thing about the Trent contract is we've now got Salah and we've now got Virgil that have come out and said, look, I've not had conversations, and they're basically begging to be signed back on contracts, and they want 2-year contracts. Like, that's now been reported, and that's going to happen. Like, they are probably going to get 2-year contracts. Trent hasn't said a word. He's never said a word. He's never said he hasn't been offered a contract. He's never said that the club hasn't spoke to him. None of his family have come out, none of his agents, nobody's leaked anything about Trent. I believe that Trent's family have asked for a huge amount of money, and we are in negotiations to get that down, because I believe that his brother, who's his agent, is asking for crazy demands, and I don't think we're entertaining crazy demands, and I don't think we should. Like, if we went and signed Trent to a £500,000 a week contract, which I believe he wants, then we're not going to be able to sign Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk up. We're just not. Like, we're not going to be able to sign them up. And when Konate's contract comes for renewal next year, he's going to want 300,000. Like, we can't get into a situation where we are overpaying players massively. And whether you think they should be paid 500,000 or not, it's not your choice. It's Liverpool's wage structure, and we broke it to pay Mo Salah 350. I believe we want to reduce it to 300. And I think we're trying to get Mo on 300 and we're trying to get Virgil on 300. And I think we will offer Trent 300. And if Trent doesn't want to sign a new contract, then Trent leaves on a free. And that's his choice. Like it's not Michael Edwards or Richard Hughes' fault that this has happened. This is an accumulation of Georgie Smack get too busy trying to sign all these midfielders and getting all the transfers in last season and getting rid of loads of players last season and just not being any foresight on getting contracts done. And I think it's a detriment to Liverpool that we haven't had Virgil, Salah and Trent all signed up. But we haven't. And it's been dumped on the new regime and they've had a lot of shit to do. Like we're still signing backroom staff. Like we're still finalizing backroom stuff. We still haven't got a set piece coach. Like this is an ongoing situation that we are doing. So Trent, Virgil, and Salah are all priorities, but Virgil and Salah will be done before the end of the year. Trent has had his head turned by Real Madrid, and I don't doubt that he's had his head turned. But the signs are that he wants to stay. And he now knows that he can play for England and still be in the Premier League, which I don't think he's been able to really tie down. Like, I think Carsley will be given the job because it makes a lot of sense. It's what England do. And whether he sings the national anthem or not, I couldn't give a shit because I don't sing the national anthem and I never will. So he sees Trent as his mainstay as a right back, and rightly so. So does Trent need to go to Real Madrid to be an England international? No, he doesn't. So that's one tied. That's one thing ticked off. Are the media now waxing lyrical about Trent? Yes, they are. That's another good thing about. That's another good thing for Trent. Are Liverpool seeing Trent in a position that he thrives in? Yes, they are. Is he now being more involved in the games now for good things? Yes, he is. So is Slot going to start playing him the way he should be played? Yes, he is. You know, all of this cloud about Trent is probably passed by now. So now he can concentrate on Liverpool in his prime, doing what he's good at in defending and creating goals, because that's what he's good at. Whether you think he's shit at defending or not is irrelevant. He's very good at defending, and he has been for a number of years. But he's just not been in a position to do that because he's been asked to do too many things. So, do we get Trent over the line? I think we do. However, it's up to Trent. It's not up to us. It's not up to the club. It's up to Trent whether he stays at Liverpool. Like, you can complain all you want about the club, but if Trent doesn't want to stay and he leaves on a free, that's on Trent. That's not on Liverpool. That's on Trent. Because we'd have offered him a contract. We would have offered him a contract. We wouldn't let him walk out the door without trying. And nothing has been talked about in the media and nothing has been talked about by Trent. So we are talking to Trent to get him to sign a new contract. And he's the one we want to get done before Mo and Virgil. And we have time with Mo and Virgil. We have time. They're both begging to stay. Like, it's so obvious that they're begging to stay. So they will stay. But if Trent wants to leave, it's on Trent. So Don't hate the club for it, but don't hate Trent either, because Trent has accomplished everything at Liverpool. He's won everything at Liverpool. If he wants a new challenge and he wants to go and eat paella and play in a warm climate in Spain, then he can do that. That's not that I've got no slant on him. Like, he has done everything for Liverpool, blood, sweat, and tears, and won everything, and gave me so much joy in watching Liverpool. And if he wants to go and play for Real Madrid, then he has my blessing, because he deserves everything he gets. Like, we can't hate him. We can't hate him as fans. If he wants a new challenge, then he wants a new challenge. Sadio Mane wanted a new challenge. Like, he went with my blessing. Like, he gave me so much joy. And he left the club and we sold him to Bayern Munich. Like, and I didn't care anymore. Like, I didn't care what he did at Bayern Munich. I don't care what he does in Saudi Arabia. Like, I won't care what Trent does in Real Madrid. I just won't. Like, I'm not going to be watching Real Madrid because Trent plays for them. I'll still be watching Liverpool, and I'll be seeing how Conor Bradley takes over. So that's how it is with me. Like, if he goes, he goes. Don't blame the club, and don't blame him either, because if he wants a new challenge, he's entitled to a new challenge, because he's been playing for us for 6 years, and he's won everything, and he's 25, and he's in his prime. And if he wants to go and do that for Real Madrid, he can. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. He's probably the only guy out of the three that I don't think we'll miss as much, because Salah's goals, Salah's assists, they're huge. And Virgil van Dijk is just a man mountain that manages to just play every game, and he's always there. Mo, every game, he's always there. So that's my feelings on it. Have you got any more questions? LFC have spoke to him. Why can't he say the same? LFC haven't spoken to him. Most said they have. Most said they haven't spoken to him. What's that? Well, an experienced coach, at least Zidane was available. I don't know what that's about. Trent will give up his dream to be Liverpool captain. When will he be Liverpool captain, Douglas? I ask you this question because if Virgil van Dijk signs a new contract and he's with us for another 2 years, Virgil van Dijk's the captain. So Trent will be the vice captain. Trent will always be the vice captain until Virgil leaves. And Virgil's got no plan on going. Like he said, he wants to stay for another 2 years. So if we sign Virgil for another 2 years, Trent isn't going to be the captain till he's what, 27? So we can't throw that at him. We can't use that as a gambit. Like, oh well, Trent, you're never going to be captain of Liverpool if you leave. He's not going to be captain anyway if Virgil stays. So, and for me, he shouldn't have been made vice captain. Like, Alisson or Salah should have been made vice captain. Like, that's just a fact. Like, he's not a captain. He doesn't act like a captain. He doesn't act like a vice captain. He hasn't got those attributes, the real attributes of a captain. He hasn't. Like, last season, he downed tools too many times in games. Like, he really did, and it was really annoying. And I'm sat there going, your vice captain does that. Your vice captain acts like that. Doesn't track runners. Like, just wanders into midfield whenever he wants. Like, there was times last season when I wanted him gone. When I sat there and went, you know what? Real Madrid, offer some money, will you? And just get him off our hands, because he's going to be a problem for the next manager. And we can't sit there and say he hasn't been a problem for the manager. Like, he came sulking off the pitch, and the manager had to grab him and have a word with him. Like, so he's got an attitude problem. Like, he has got an attitude problem. And he's got this complex where he thinks that he is better than anybody else. And he just isn't. He just isn't. Like, he's not better than Mo, and he's not better than Virgil, and he's not better than Alisson. He just isn't. Like, he's not. He's fourth. He's fourth in the team. Like, in best players. So if he wants to go to Real Madrid, he can go to Real Madrid, and he can see out his contract and see how the fans react. But I don't hate him for it. I don't hate him for it. You know, I'd like to have got money for him. Of course I would. But that was down to the previous management that didn't sort out his contract. But the fact that he hasn't been sold, and none of them have been sold, means that there's definitely contract talks that have been spoken about, and they've probably been asked, "Are you happy to stay at Liverpool?" Yeah. Are you happy to stay at Liverpool? Yeah. Are you happy to stay at Liverpool? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, then. Well, we'll get in touch with you soon with contracts. Like, you've told us you're happy, so it's just the way I feel. Everybody feels different. Everyone feels different. Trent is replaceable. He is. I think Bradley does offer more defensively, and I think Bradley also offers runs into the box where Bradley can probably score more goals. Bradley's end product isn't the greatest, but Trent offers something from further back, which you've seen for England and you've seen for us in the past, that's quite hard to do, because he's in a position where he's got a lot of space and he can provide a ball which none of the others can, because there's players in front of them. Like, you can't really do that from in midfield because you've got players charging you down. You've got less space to be able to just look up, pick a pass, pump. Like, I don't know. He had 73 assists when he was before the age of 23. By the way, that's, like, it's crazy numbers. Afternoon, Andre. I'm actually going to end the show now, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I know I went on a bit of a contract rant at the end, but people did ask me about it. I will be doing a preview show for the Nottingham Forest game tomorrow. That'll be in the afternoon. I'm not sure when, but it'll be in the afternoon. It'll if you like and subscribe and you hit the notifications bell, then you'll get a notification of when that is, and also I'll write it in the community when the show is, but it'll pop up on my channel. I'm going to have a chat with Quasi and see what time he's available and do that tomorrow. That'll be like an hour long, and we'll go deep dive on Forest and a deep dive into Liverpool. Hope you've enjoyed the show. If you haven't checked out my show that I did with Callum from Coppish, which talked about whether we can live without Trent, Mo and Virgil, please check it out. It's an hour and a half long. It's a good deep dive into numbers and statistics and, you know, what they've achieved with us and some of their greatest moments. Please check that out. And if you ever want to contribute to the channel, I've got super chats there, so you can send me a super chat whenever, and also a super like or something like that it's called. So any that I appreciate as well. You have a wonderful day, and up the Reds, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.